Another day, another heinous debacle for the price of Bitcoin. Is it possible that this sell-off is just getting started? The crash may only have just begun, and what we're seeing is something similar to a bubble cycle sell-off. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the savagery we're seeing inside the chart right now. Grandma's cookies and a bottle of yo-ho-ho. The volatility has been epic. Yet again, another sell-off inside this market. Yet again, the bulls being put to the test by the bears right here, right now. And my friends, I am beginning to see some similarities here between a classic bubble cycle pattern formation forming here right now. Are we seeing what may be a blow off top before a large pop in this trend? Or, my friends, right now, does it appear that we may be able to sustain this parabola, build some support, and continue our uptrend? So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. Being said, let's begin right here on the 4-hour time frame. To me right now, ladies and gentlemen, we had our massive sell-off right there at the 0.618 golden Fibonacci extension. If you are subscribed here, you would know this has been a significant level of interest for me that may have been the top for the whole trend, right? Doesn't have to be. That's just a hypothesis that I had way before we hit this level. My hypothesis was, well, this is the golden retracement, the golden extension. And if we do happen to hit that target, I see a lot of sense for that to have been potentially the macro top. And now we got there, right? We hit it to an absolute T, and we saw our sell-off begin. Now, this is where it gets a little more interesting. So we did recover. I mean, after hitting almost 14,000, we crashed all the way down into the depths of the crypto abyss in the low 10,000s. We since then recovered for an epic, beautiful rally here. Let's take our percentage tool. A rally of, my friends, 20% to the upside, right there from the bottom. Savage, heinous, and a borderline ludicrous inverse debacle, if you do in fact ask me. And right now, we've yet again begin to sell off. But right now, here's the interesting part. You see where we're looking to form support here, right along this red line. And what is this red line? Well, ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. This is our 0.236 Fibonacci retracement. This is where I really would love to see support being built if the bulls are going to continue to defend the support levels and continue a potential climb to new higher highs. Here becomes the problem for me though, ladies and gentlemen. If we do take a look here at our classic Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle, right? We've probably all seen this chart before. I know many of you have. I've shown this before. So I've explained time and time again that these cycles in these markets, they're all mini bubbles, right? Each cycle is a bubble in and of itself, right? And right now, this to me is beginning to start to have a lot of characteristics, especially up at the top here, that in my opinion are mirroring the generic psychology of a market cycle. We had our euphoric rise, right? You see the top there is euphoria, right? I'm a genius. We're going to be rich. That's what it says right there at the top. And what we all know is that when that happens, you get a blow off top. And this is exactly what we had here in 2017 as well, right? You get your blow off top after a crazy euphoric rise. And then what's next after that? You get a bounce back rally, right? A relief rally to stop the selling. The panic in the streets, get some relief. Phew, we're back to normal, Kirby, right? We're back to normal, right? All the degenerates itching their neck, scratching their collar, living that life of peril and squalor, right? Start itching it. We're back to the complacency level, right? And this is in on the 4-hour time frame. This to me looks exactly like a blow off top, which is now rallied into a potential complacency rally here, where now all the degenerates are waiting for the next rally to boom up again, right? And sure, this could happen, right? But let's now examine why this looks a little troubling for me here, and why there's sentiment on my from my perspective that this could only be the beginning of this crash, right? So take a look at the volume here, right? Most of our volume happened right up top here, right? Which is exactly what you would expect for a blow off top, right? You stick in huge volume for your last leg up, your last candle, and then your blow off candle also has large volume. And since then, the only large volume candles that we've had are sell-offs, which continued our waterfall down. This rally to the upside, which may look good, from the candlestick perspective, when you look at it in terms of volume, all we've had is a decline in volume here for this entire rally, sticking in a divergence, right? You have rising price action and declining volume. That is not what I want to see here in terms of sell pressure coming in, in terms of buy pressure coming in, right? So now let's also look at our RSI, and what I want to look at here is the daily. We have painted now a clear bearish divergence here on the 1-day time frame for Bitcoin. Our high here at close to 14,000 did not eclipse either of these two prior peaks at our prior higher highs. That is not good for me here as well either, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason that I'm saying this is because for me, this looks like we may be entering that complacency phase here where people are waiting for the parabola to continue. Now, sure, it could, right? I'm not saying that this has to be it. It's over. You guys know I'm a swing trader. If we continue to go up, I'm going to be trading it to the upside. If we continue to break down, my strategy is going to go one of two ways. One, I'm either going to short this market and get this crypto to the downside, or two, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging long entries, right? Buys, and I'm going to be looking for support zones to collect and accumulate my position before another rip to the upside. But we'll discuss that a little bit later on, okay? So let's examine what's potentially different about this move here and this sell-off compared to the other sell-offs in this parabolic trend. Because I know right now I'm going to get, oh, Kirby, well, we've sold off so many times, though, Kirby, and the parabola's continued. So why would this be any different, Kirby? Oh. Well, James, well, Joe, that's why I'm going to examine this with you all right here, right now. Let's get this crypto. So, when's the last time that we had this type of immense sell-off, right? I would say that this was, let's measure it, right? So this was roughly a 20%, or well, 25% if you count all the way down. And we had something similar here and something very similar right here. I would say that this one in particular was the more closely resembling one. So let's examine this right here, okay? So prior to this was our first parabolic advance. We had broken out of our bear market structure down here with our heinous candle. We had our first parabolic advance and a massive 26% sell-off to the downside with a large wick, very similar to what we saw over here, okay? Now, the difference here, ladies and gentlemen, is that this was immediately bought back up and we stuck in a bullish engulfing candle immediately following, right? And then we went into parabola yet again. For me right now, we're not seeing a bullish engulfing candle come in here. We've actually seen this bearish engulfing candle. Now the next day's close lower than the prior. And right now, with today's action already picking up here, if we close today's candle below this green one right here, which would be a low, anywhere below 12,400-ish, this would not be anywhere looking similarly to the same as what we saw down there, right? And of course, past performance is not indicative of future results. But for me right now, we're seeing stark differences in this trend right now, right? Where this massive sell-off followed up by a lower high, right? Without any bullish engulfing candles and a loss in volume, I mean drastic loss in volume. This is starting to be of concern to me, okay? So what we need to see here from the bulls now, they're going to need to keep a higher low trajectory intact. I am liking from a bullish perspective right now that this 0.236 Fibonacci retracement line, the red line, is being held by the bulls for the time being. The bots have been at this level clearly, right? I mean, this is to the exact touch here, right, ladies and gentlemen? A little Wiccanacci don dot. Tell your wife, tell your fot. Right there, I mean, it's clear bot action, clear human action. The problem for me right now is that the volume is very low. So I personally am not long from this region here. I'm personally in between trades right now. I am in no position. I am awaiting re-entry here for a high reward, low risk trade setup to crush this market and get this crypto. And shout out to all my VIPs. I am going to be keeping you guys all updated in VIP with every single trade I make here. Every entry, every target, every strategy, everything that I do, I'm going to be posting for you exclusively in VIP 24/7. You guys know that I can only do these streams here on YouTube once per day. So when I'm trading, I'm posting alerts for you around the clock 24/7 in VIP, and that is where you can get all my trades as I plan to crush this market. Let's get this crypto. I will see all of my new future VIPs in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. So for me right now, in terms of what I'm looking for, is a break of this Fibonacci or a break of this white line here of resistance, which was our prior top now at about 12,450. Bitcoin is going to need to maintain this higher low trajectory and then break out of this overhead resistance, right, guys? You see what I'm saying here? This, for me, right now is almost looking like a ascending triangle, but the fact is, for me, is this is way too small of a sample size. Although, if we do start to ping-pong around in here, say, right, we may be looking at something more so along the lines of a ascending triangle, which may in fact be bullish, right? We're going to have to wait and watch. But right now, there are definitely some bearish signs that are concerning for me, right? Not only on the daily do we have our bearish divergence, but if this market does continue to sell off here throughout the weekend, we may also paint in the bearish divergence on the weekly, but it's too early to know. We still have multiple days left in the candle in the weekly RSI to go. So until that closes, we won't have a perfect picture painted. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The big thing right now is that many people here, they got greedy, right? Plain and simple, they got greedy up here. And the thing is that what happens at the end of bubbles, right? You wind up going into the euphoria phase where then average Joe and James at the water cooler, they all wind up buying, going all in at the very top, right? And then they want the gains that everybody else had on the way up, right? They want all this, but they didn't get in until way too late, right? You guys know Don Carbonaccio was riding the Parabolic Express all along this way, taking long. 84.14, I went long. 94.14, I went long. And then I wound up taking profits all above the $12,000 region. And right now, these moon boys, right, and just average Joe type traders, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't ride the Parabolic Express. In fact, what they did was quite the opposite. They rode that roller coaster to Wrecked City, right? They wait. What's the best part of a roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen? It's when you go up nice and high to the top, and then you get that plunge down fast, right down the chute. And these moon boys, they waited till it went all the way up to the peak. And then they went all in. I'm ready, Carbonaccio, I'm ready. And then right down, ladies and gentlemen. And this, my friends, is characteristic to me, in my opinion, of a classic blow-off top in a classic bubble market cycle. And this, my friends, could be the beginning of the crash if we do not, right now, look to create a higher high here above 12,500 and then a higher high above 13,900, whatever the exact top is, right? 13,880. If we don't get this here and we actually stick in another lower high and crash below this fib, crash below this level, ladies and gentlemen, this is starting to look eerily similar to me here of what I would expect in a blatant parabolic bubble market cycle that pops and returns to the mean, right? And what is the mean? The average, right? Well, I was showing you guys this yesterday. If you are subscribed here, there's levels of interest for me here on the Bitcoin CME futures chart. And these levels of interest for me are two gaps that have not been filled yet. Of course, the gaps do not need to necessarily fill, but per classical technical analysis theory, these gaps do love to fill. I mean, it's just, it is what it is, right? There's no rhyme or reason to it, but historically, a lot of charts do in fact love to fill these gaps. And for me, guys, we see a large gap here between 10,648 and 10,100, and another gap here between 8,964 and 8,500. Let's get this crypto. And right here, guys, this whole region, to me, right, there's not a lot of action in this gap, right? We don't see much here. That was just sheer parabola up, right? But here, I see a lot of confluence, right? We notice that there's a lot of action here, right? A lot of chop in this range, which may be the average, right? It may be. I can't say for sure. This is only a hypothesis. This is my own opinion and idea. Maybe this is the area that the bubble pops to, right? And if that is in fact the case, ladies and gentlemen, you know, a target of 8,500 may not be the craziest thing in the world to expect here. That doesn't mean, oh, Kirby, but I just bought my first Bitcoins, Kirby, my Bitcoins. What am I gonna do? What are you gonna do, James? The thing is, you need to have a plan. You should have had a plan before you even, you know, got into your position, right? You should have thought about this before you entered, right? Not after you've gotten wrecked here, right? If you fail to plan, then your plan is to fail. Don Carbonaccio preaches this, ladies and gentlemen. If you fail to plan, then your plan is to fail. Personally, you guys know I have plans all along the way, right? If this drops here, I'm going to have a plan to crush it and get this crypto. If we continue to move to the upside, I'm going to have a plan to crush it and get this crypto. You can't control the market, right? The market's going to do crazy things, right? Nobody can predict every market movement. Nobody can make the perfect trade 100% of the time. You can't control that. But what you can control is how you choose to play the market, how you choose to make your plans in advance for each and every scenario that presents itself, right? What happens if we lose support here? You got to be ready. What happens if we boom to the upside? You have to be ready, right? It's not just as simple as, you know, buying and seeing what happens. That's so degenerate, my friends. And the only way that you can learn to get better and crush the market is through the experience. So if you did take that trip on the Wrecked City roller coaster this week, ladies and gentlemen, buying in right at the top for the plunge. You know, I joked around earlier about that, but the fact of the matter is, if you actually did this, right? If you actually did this, this should be a lesson that's going to be invaluable to you, my friend, because moving forward, you have to understand that these cycles look like this for a reason, right? And the fact of the matter is that if this is in fact the top, FOMO buying into a euphoric stage of a cycle is very, very problematic generally, right? And it just occurs over and over again. It's not only in Bitcoin, it's in other assets as well. We've seen this throughout history, that this chart plays a prominent role in markets. Let's get this crypto. For me right now, the fear and greed index here for crypto has fallen a bit, but we still are greedy. The volume is the big problem for me, ladies and gentlemen. Where is the buy pressure, right? If we've seen this price go up, but as we see here, after a blow off top, we generally get the relief rally, right? And if you want an example in Bitcoin, I pointed this out earlier in the video. We got it here on Bitcoin as well, right? We had our immense drop and it's savage, ladies and gentlemen. 43% drop to the downside from the top of the bubble. And then we got our relief rally, right? And our relief rally, let's take this, took us all the way up 48% from the bottom on our relief rally, before then inevitably putting us back into this complacency range here, right? You see, right after the euphoria and the initial crash, you get the complacency. James at the water cooler, sipping H2O out of a cone-shaped cup, right? Waiting for the euphoria to continue, Kirby, because we're going to 100 million per coin. And then what happens after that, ladies and gentlemen? A plunge deep down into the crypto abyss. I mean, this whole Bitcoin bubble of 2017 was so picture perfect in terms of the Wall Street cheat sheet market cycle. And right now, although it doesn't have to be that this is what we're looking at here, I certainly see that the speculative idea and hypothesis that this could be the beginnings of a blow off top, a complacency stage here with a rebound rally before an epic plunge, is certainly something I'm taking into consideration. Guys, of course, that is not financial advice. That is not investment advice or trading advice. That's only my own opinion and speculative hypothesis here on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading. I'm not your financial advisor, and I'll never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. For me, right now, I'm preparing to play this either way, and I'm going to be keeping you all updated here in VIP in absolute real time with every single trade I make. Like I said, I've been playing this to the upside the whole way here, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since we broke out of the bear market, I've been speculating to the upside. Sure, even in here, I got chopped out in a lot of positions, right? Because this thing was ripping and I was using a tight stop loss. I got chopped around in here. Trust me, I feel the pain. But then soon as we broke above this level, ladies and gentlemen, it was pretty much off to the races. Don Carbonaccio been speculating to the upside here and caught the large majority of this massive move here, ladies and gentlemen. Right down here, all the degenerates and moon boys. You're going to miss the bottom, Kirby. You're going to miss the bottom. Oh. Traders don't care about missing the bottom, quote unquote, James. That's not really a thing. That's called trying to catch a falling knife. Traders look to seize upon the meat and potatoes of the trend and catch a large portion of an entire trend, right? You're never going to catch the exact bottom. You're never going to catch the exact top. But what you can do is catch a nice chunk of this action here in the middle, profit, and get this crypto. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, I've seized a large majority of this move here. And right now, I'm strategizing and plotting for my moves here with this next move. Is the parabola going to continue? Well, for the sake of the bull trend, I hope it does. But if it doesn't, and we are going to start to get something playing out that looks like a classic bubble pop market cycle, ladies and gentlemen, you best believe Don Carbonaccio is going to be ready to crush this market, playing it to the downside here as well. And I'm going to keep you all updated in VIP with every single trade I make. Let's get this crypto. Today is the day, ladies and gentlemen. Are you going to be the one that crushes this market, or are you going to be the one that gets crushed? Truthfully, the choice is yours. Right now, I prefer to be the one that plans to do the crushing, and I'm going to be keeping you all updated with my strategies, my trades, my entries, my exits, all in real time, exclusively for you in VIP. So shout out to my VIPs and shout out to all of my new future VIPs joining VIP right now after this video. I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. And just also, now watch out for this, ladies and gentlemen. Now watch, since Don Carbonaccio pointed it out here, that we may be looking at a classic market cycle formation here with our top painted in at the 0.618 Fibonacci extension. Watch everybody else now start to say, oh, doesn't this look like a classic market cycle? I know that they all watch Don, ladies and gentlemen. You know that they all watch Don. Because whether they like it or they don't like it, they better learn to love it. Because this stream right here is the best thing going inside the cryptocurrency space today. Let's get this crypto. Diamonds are forever, and so is Don Carbonaccio. Sheesh. All right, so guys, that's my thoughts right now. I'm going to be trading this aggressively here. Do not be getting caught like a deer in the headlights. Do not be taking that trip to Wreck City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. It's time to crush this market. It's time to get this crypto. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. Being said, I will see you all in VIP right now. I'll keep you updated with my trades here. I'm going to be playing this absolutely aggressively, formulating my strategies, plotting my plans, making my entries, taking my profits, exiting, moving stop losses, etc. And I'll be posting it all for you in real time, ladies and gentlemen. So I will see all my new future VIPs in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. And until next time, my friends, if you could, one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up. Smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. So until next time, my friends, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.